find it while I see who's gonna come and be on this live. Hi guys, welcome to this unplanned live. I was not planning to do a live tonight, but we got a story for you guys. We got a story for you today. Yo. So, let's see. Oh, that's me. Well, turn on the sound here. Anywho, so I'm gonna put it here. I hope it doesn't fall. You can sit here a little bit more to my side.
I still have to look for a thumbnail.
Hey, you don't have to tell people my secret. The thumbnail will come later. So I am, oh, not I am. We are sitting pretty on the couch and chilling. It is 9:38, and yo guys, I was, for the first time in all my time in Germany, I have been spooked out, frightened, scared. So let me start with a story while he's looking for a picture. Story.
Hard it.
What?
No, tell story.
Okay, so we went for a walk. Oh, let me do this. We went for a walk and stopped at the grocery store. Okay, and we have a newly, what do you call it? A newly designed, landscaped little park in our neighborhood. I showed it yesterday on my live, and my husband didn't see it. So we said, okay, on our way back home, we will pass through this park. Okay, so we passed through the park, admiring it, and then the park has the old part of the park, which was already there. They just extended it. And so as we came out to the old park, we saw a lady. At first, she was just kind of like walking, and then as we were going out, I noticed she was squatting, kind of weirdly though.
I first thought it was a guy pooping.
Yeah, wow, look, there's 10 people there. Hi guys, welcome to this storytelling. Hi David. Hi. So we noticed there was a lady squatting. I'm like, what's she doing? Is she peeing? Hi.
In the middle of the park, for everybody to see.
In the middle of the park, on the path.
Yeah, not even on the grass.
Not
just
even
on
on the grass to the side. I'm like, wait a minute, she's peeing because I can see her butt.
And I was like, some people are like animals.
I see wow, David subscribed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for subscribing without even asking. Thank you so much. I appreciate. And Madzos wow, how do I read that? And Open Toaster. Hi, what's up? Thank you guys for joining us. Hi, Fanboy. Oh, yeah, I think Fanboy. Ah, you just wanted to make me happy. How kind. Thank you so much.
Mission achieved.
I really appreciate that, too. Thank you. So, anyway, let me get back to this story. So, the lady was peeing in the park. Mind you, the park is right behind somebody's house.
Which is oddly enough.
Because I was like, okay.
And we were watching her, like, looking over, like,
because I was like, is she really?
Why?
Because you know the park, like there's grass on the side, there's even benches there to sit, and the path that goes to the seat or whatever right there on the path. She didn't even step to the side. I was like,
So we watched her quite obviously, no?
I was watching, and then she noticed, I guess she noticed we were watching her. I watched her getting dressed. She was squatting very weirdly because, like, half standing, half
And
squatting.
you already said she's not all there, no?
I'm like, that can't be normal. What kind of normal person will pee in the park like that? And you liked, thank you. I see the like. Thank you so much, David. So I'm like, what kind of person? That's not normal behavior to be. I know maybe you are very, very, very pressed and you have to go, but there are also trees, and you can go toward the side of the fence
Yeah.
and then be a little bit discreet or a little bit hidden. But she was just there, and then she was watching us. I noticed she was also looking at us. I'm like, I guess she's not happy that we noticed her.
And I first thought she went the other way to where we came from.
Yeah.
But then you said, oh, she's right behind us walking there.
Because naturally, my eyes are everywhere. It just, I don't know why, but that's just how I am. Yes, I see everything there. Everything, nothing. Yeah, some things will pass me, but most things I notice. So I'm like, she's coming this way, she right behind us. I'm like, okay, she's just going. But I'm like,
And we
if
passed a couple of people.
if she's going toward homes where we were going, why would she be in the park?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, there's even a restaurant and hotel which you can go in there and ask, can I please pee? I really, really have to. I don't know if you, but there's also a bush on the other side of the park which you could go instead. But we notice she's going towards where we are going, and I didn't.
And she was like 100 meters behind us.
Yeah, she was
far.
far from us, so I didn't even pay attention. I noticed she was coming the same way we are going, but I didn't think she was following us. So we walked, and there's a recycle place where you put your own bottles for recycling and clothes and paper. There was a lady there putting bottles back for recycle. And she just so she passed that lady. Okay. And then we walked past the restaurant.
And we noticed she came closer. No? I didn't want to turn because she said, look.
I
she's behind us.
keep telling him, like, that lady is there. She's
And I was like, no, I don't want to look.
I was like, look, she's right there. And he's like, I don't even want to look, kind of like that. And so we passed a couple going the opposite direction. So she went past the couple that we also went past, and she's still coming behind us. And I noticed that she's getting very, very close. I'm
Like
like,
as if she wanted to overtake us.
and I'm like, oh.
Like,
Okay.
and we were not slow. No, she
No.
was really pacing.
And that's why I'm like, are we even walking slow? That's what I said when we turned into
We
our
went normal speed, like 5-6 km/h.
normal walking speed, not slow. I'm like, are we walking this slow? How can she? And she's short. She's not really tall. I'm sorry to say, but she's Asian. So Asian people are not really tall people. She's Sarafia's height. Although nobody knows Sarafia. My sister is a little shorter than all of us. I think she's even the shortest, Sarafia is. Yeah, like 1.6 meter, like that. So I'm like, how is she that she's walking so faster than us? And I'm like, wait, it doesn't matter. Maybe she's going that side. But we live in a street where only people that live in that street or delivery services or some
Or people who live there.
or people who live there
And the street
go
is very small, like one car only.
only those people that goes into the street. It's not like everybody public street. And me, with my nosy self, I pretty much know, or at least am familiar with the people that I have seen walking, because people here walk a lot. I never seen her before. She's dressed in all black, has a nice blazer on top, and black jeans, I think, and then black all stars, those one with big platform, and she has black hair with bangs. has a silver pendant, a pendant necklace with a big, I think, heart or those kind of thing where you have to put a picture inside, something like that. I don't know if it's just a pendant like that. And a black backpack. She's dressed in all black. And so when we turned into our street, she turned as well.
And that was pretty odd already.
And then something went off in my head. I'm like, that's kind of odd.
And luckily, our house is one of the first in the street, so we didn't have to go far.
Yeah, the second one. That's that one. And then the second one on our street. And so we kind of turned off to go toward the house, toward the entrance of the house. I think she didn't notice that we were going there. She thought maybe we were just kind of avoiding her or something. And before I knew it, she was a little bit ahead of us already.
Yeah, she was right next to us then, and then she looked at us like a demon, like
She was looking at, smiling so weird, like a psychopath. Have you
completely
ever
weird.
seen in the movie?
as if she wanted something from us. Like,
Have you ever seen in the movie with these serial killers, maybe a little girl that butcher or kills her parents in their sleep, look kind of innocent but has a weird smile? She looked at me and was I'm like, what the?
but in that moment, I was busy opening the door
Yeah,
already
because
with
yeah,
my key.
because he has the key, and I'm right behind him, and of course I'm watching because I'm always watching. And as soon as he opened the door, the girl dashed, kind of like to run to come in. I went in like
I
inside.
didn't even notice.
He didn't notice because he was just thought, okay, she's gone, she's cuckoo, whatever. She tried to follow us and run into the building. So I noticed and I hit the door, slam it, because you can't open it without a key anyway.
Yeah, and I was wondering why is she slapping the door so hard.
And then when we went inside, I'm like, babe, she tried to come in. And that moment, she just stopped right there in front of the gate. And she's still, oh my gosh, she's still smiling.
So we went into my office or in our kitchen where we can see from the top.
Hi, Bran.
Hey, Bran. You can see from the top of from the first story
Because the window
down to the street.
yeah, toward the street.
So we stood in the room so nobody could watch inside, but we can watch outside.
Yeah,
and she was standing
So
there.
he's in the office, I'm in the kitchen. Because they both have big windows and to look outside. She's just standing there, looking towards our direction.
Like
She's
completely insecure. Like, what should I do now? I've run so fast. What should I do?
like she's lost, has nothing to do. So then she
She
took
was
a
clearly
tissue.
confused.
She took a tissue and she looked like she was cleaning her eyes. And he's like, is she crying? I'm like, well, she looked like she's crying, but why is she crying? And the worst thing is, she didn't talk. She could have said, hi guys, I need help. Nothing. She just said,
Well, when she was alone outside, she talked to herself. I saw her mouth more moving.
but I think she was chewing something. So, but you can't tell if she's chewing or she's talking. Because she didn't have a phone in her hand.
Completely.
So you would say, okay, if she has a phone, she calls somebody. Maybe she even had the earphone. She didn't have a phone. She's just fiddling with her fingers, and then keep just looking and looking toward the door to see maybe if somebody's coming out.
Yeah. Walking 2 meters this direction, turning around, watching at the door.
Yeah, I'm like, where's she going?
5 meters in this direction, turning around. Like, super weird behavior.
What dog are you talking about? That dog just wanted some milk and a cookie.
Yeah, never mind.
What dog are you talking about? Brian, you weren't here from the beginning, so you don't even know the story.
Yeah, anyway. She was really, like we said, she was pacing up and down right in front of her house,
Yeah.
always looking at our front door.
Yeah.
And Bella was already, babe, call the police.
I'm like,
And
she's
I was saying, nah, it's not an emergency. She has not given us a real reason. She's just weird.
but somebody follow us
Yeah.
and wanted to get in the building with us in our house. Who's not even talking? That is weird and spooky as hell.
And then she stood like for 10 minutes in front of our house,
I think even
Just-
longer.
just fiddling with her shoes, with her hands, with the tissue.
Yeah.
Clearly not wanting to leave and being completely unsure what to do next.
Not doing anything. It's like walk one step there, and then she come back, and then she stand again. I'm like, what in the world? Like, why did she follow us and then pass or ignore the other people that she crossed, and then she just follow us? Is it because we looked at her peeing in the park? Or
Maybe she liked it.
why?
Who knows?
She it kind of bothered me because I'm a very curious person, and
You.
yes, I want to know why she's followed us. And I'm like, if she was so disturbed, she could have followed the other people that were behind us.
So,
But she passed all of them and followed us.
so since she didn't leave in the front of our house,
Yeah,
and I thought, oh, I cannot sit comfortably in the living room, and she's out there, and
Yeah.
my car is outside. Maybe she does something to the
Yeah.
cars, or tries to set the trash cans on fire. God
Yeah.
knows what.
yeah.
So in the end, I listened to you and I called the police. So in all my
Life.
all my life, God knows how many years, I never ever had to call the police.
Yeah.
So today was the first.
So I'm like, call the police, call the police. And you weren't doing it. I was like, I'm about to call the police myself.
So I was not calling the emergency number because it's clearly not an emergency, but I called the police station
Yeah.
and said, "Hey guys, I need some help," and what? I need some help or your advice.
Yeah.
And
No, I was checking something.
then described the situation, and the lady who was basically first just a receptionist said, "Oh, she's standing in front of your house? That is super weird. Let me go and get somebody on the line." So I had to wait for a couple of seconds, and then I talked to a police officer, and he's asked me, "Oh, how does the person look like? What really happened? Where is it exactly? And was it just like suspicious behavior, or did she do something bad?" I said, "No, she didn't do anything bad. It was just super sus when she's right in front of our house."
And she
And
clearly
clearly-
followed us.
And she followed us to our house. And we don't feel safe, I told him. She's pretty weird. And then he said, okay, he cannot do something drastically. He cannot arrest her or anything because she didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
But he's going to send a car to see if they can find the woman and make sure that she's all right, or maybe she ran away from the
Mental institution.
maybe, who knows, or maybe
Okay.
she took drugs. I have no idea. She was clearly not like a normal person.
That lady looked like she was not all there.
Yeah, in that moment, unfortunately, while I called the police, she was
She started walking off.
trembling off. She was walking off. But I told the police officer in which direction she went. So, and that is the story. Fortunately, we didn't see her again. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, we didn't also see a police car coming in.
Yeah, I didn't see the police car coming.
Yeah, maybe
That
they
is-
sent it somebody. I hope they did.
That is weird because that person is clearly disturbed. And if she's following people in their houses, who knows, she's gonna follow a vulnerable old lady or something.
And this is why you have to take your pepper spray with you.
I never really had to. I never encountered a weird situation like this
Yeah.
ever in all my living.
Always better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
In all my 6 years of living in Germany, I was followed once by that guy in Tuttlingen.
Yeah,
on
let's
a-
call him out, Matthias. If
Mat-
you see this, you're weird.
Matthias in Tuttlingen, he was following me on a bicycle, and I was running, and he was superb. He was behind me, and I had, for the first time, I'm wearing shorts to run, and he's just behind me looking at my butt. I think he was just looking at my butt behind me.
I mean,
And-
I understand that part, but
So he was not a threat. He was just a perv that wanted to pick up a lady. I told him I was married. He said, me too. It's true. He said, me too. And he told me his wife was away. I'm like, you clearly like to cheat on your wife. So what makes you think I support that behavior? So anyway, but then when I was coming toward the house, I was like, I really hope he doesn't follow me into my street. But then he turned.
but this lady here, I mean, we are not curious at all, but we still want to know what's going on.
Wait, speak first. Speak for yourself. Who's
So
not?
we were running constantly now to the kitchen window and looking outside if we see either a police car or maybe that weird lady
I was
again.
just speaking. I was even tempted to go out in the street to see where she went.
Aye.
I was. I didn't even ask you. I said, "Do you think I can go out?" You didn't hear me. But I wanted to go out there with my pepper spray this time. But the lady is small, man.
Yeah.
The lady is small.
But
I
still.
think if I'm standing, maybe she come up to here. This is how short she is. Plus,
Yeah, but insanity gives power.
insanity give power, but I can take that lady. Between her and me, I think she's losing. I can fight though.
Yeah.
I can fight. Uh, even when I'm not in a threatened situation, I can fight. But if you're threatening me, one of us have to go, and it's not me. It's true. One of us will have to go, and it's not me.
Yeah, should.
It's true. If I have to choose, I'll choose me anytime.
Yeah, that's good.
I just didn't want to be in a situation where I have to defend myself like that and end up in prison. But then he said, better in prison than dead.
Yeah, it's true. Better
Then
prison
he
than
said,
that.
better in prison than dead. But yeah, no, I can fight. Like,
German prisons are not that bad.
but still, I can't do my lives in prison.
No.
I said, officer, please let me have my phone. I need to go live in prison. But ne,
Yeah, but we wanted to tell you this story because it's super, super weird.
the girl spooked me out. Ne. I was like, why do you? I am going nuts wondering why did she follow us? And I'm feeling kind of bad because I was tempted to engage her with the window open because I know she can't come in. She can't come in. But I was like, okay, maybe she's psycho. Clearly, she's psycho. But now I feel like I should have asked her some question. That's the only way I would have known, like, why did you follow us? What do you want? But I was more, because it's the first time it ever happened. Like, why do you follow somebody, try to get into their building, but you're not even talking? You're not even talking. That's weird.
That is super weird.
That is so weird. So I think that's why I didn't talk to her, but I should have talked to her. I should have just, I kind of wanted to engage her so that when the police come, to stall her, so the police come and find her still in front of
No.
our building and see if they take her, because she's not okay. She's really not okay. But she know where she came from. She went back there.
Yeah.
That's the other part that is weird.
Yeah, but being not okay in your head doesn't mean you don't know where you are necessarily.
But I was concerned that if somebody else came out of our building, she would dash in, and they don't know that she's weird. Of course, she can't come in our house. But imagine somebody knock. You have to go check who it is, and then when you open the door, maybe she just dashed in, like storm in and so on. I don't know.
Okay, since we've told a story,
Yeah.
may I be the first?
To congratulate me.
Congratulate
No,
you.
not yet.
Not yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, not
Never mind, you will see.
Hi, Ken. Ken is here. You missed the story. We were being followed tonight. Hi, good evening.
Hey, Ken.
We were followed by a spooky little lady.
Smiling like the demon.
She's smiling like psychotic, like those people that you see in the movie that will murder you or bite you and eat your vein out.
Smiling manically while waving the knife at you.
She wasn't waving a knife at us, but,
No, but
she was like that. So she just followed us from the park where she was peeing in a public park. Followed us, past a couple of people, but just follow us, turn into our street, and then when we were opening the door into our building in our house, she tried to get in our house, so we had to call the police. So that's the first time we ever called the police.
But I really would have wished that the police rang a doorbell, asked, "Hey guys, what's going on? Can you tell
Yeah,
us a little bit more?" But
they never came
no.
because they ask, did she do anything suspicious or threatening, or she just having weird behavior? And since we say no, she just having weird behavior, but she followed us. Like, isn't that a threatening behavior? And she followed us to our house and tried to get in,
Well,
but they
following
didn't come.
somebody is not criminal in the first place. So
Really? Or in America, you will get arrested for sure.
yeah, America.
I mean, that's why I would like for somebody to be arrested if they're following me without my consent. And the weird thing is that she's not talking. She could have said, "Hi guys, I need help" or something. Nope. She's just like,
We
we
live in a weird world. That is absolutely true.
we do.
With a lot of very, very weird people.
But the girl, when you look at her, I think she's between age 25 and 30.
Yeah.
But she looked disturbed. Her behavior is of somebody who's disturbed in her head.
She
She
had crazy eyes.
she looked very normal, very well put together. She has a nice blazer, nicely dressed, but
Normally.
in all black, and has a nice backpack. Like, doesn't look homeless or nothing. But you just follow people. But
Yeah, and then what did she actually want? That's what
that's
bugging me.
that's what's bugging me because I don't know what she wanted.
Because she was clearly wanting something from us, whatever that was. And then when we basically fled from her and dashed into our house,
She just
then
stood.
she didn't know what to do.
She just stood in front of our door, looking all confused. Where do I go? Where do I go? And tried to go past the house, but she doesn't go. She come back and stand there, fiddle with her hands, fiddle with her shoe. There was clearly nothing on her shoes. And then she walked like 2 steps and stopped and still looking, waiting if somebody comes out. What did she want?
Yeah, as if she was waiting for us to come out again.
Yeah, I.
That was super, super weird.
Now I'm wondering if I'll ever see her again.
And it's that weird feeling that you have, that you somehow feel threatened, but not really.
Yeah, exactly.
It was
Like,
like, that is super weird. What does she want?
yesterday I went for a walk. Now I'm wondering if she would have followed me yesterday. But the weird thing is that she's not talking. Somebody who's talking, at least you can try to figure them out. But a person who's just quite smiling all psychotically, you like. And she didn't look like she has anything in her hand, like a knife or a weapon or nothing. But dashing towards our door when it opened, that is. I mean, what would you have done when you come in? Like, just sit with us on the couch and be smiling. And since she's not talking, she was just sitting there. I can't imagine. My curiosity is killing me now. My curiosity is killing me. Oh.
I'm quite happy not to know. It's okay.
You never know what's in front of you, good or bad. Yeah, thank God.
Thank you, Ken.
Yeah. You never, ever, ever, and
Yeah, it's a good thing you have your eyes everywhere. I wouldn't have even noticed her. Most
no,
likely.
me, I'm always watching. I don't know. I'm like my little nephew, Sonny. My little nephew's eyes are like this, and my brother was too. My brother is just especially when he's in trouble, to just see my mom's behavior if she's about to whoop him or anything. But my eyes are everywhere. I see everything mostly, and notice that this girl following us. That is weird, weird, weird. And it's also weird that the police didn't come, but maybe the police came and met her.
No, they said they are sending a car and drive around the area,
Vicinity.
the area.
Vicinity.
drive around the area, see if they can spot her and make sure that she's all right, or if they meet somebody.
I
They
think,
never said they sent somebody to talk to us,
yeah,
but I would have wished.
yeah, I think they spotted her because she went. In as much I thought the girl was psycho. She know where she came from. She went back the same way. She didn't mistakenly go back because here's my thing. She does not know our street. That's why she couldn't go any further because she doesn't know that area. She was clearly just following us.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know how long it took the police to send somebody. Maybe if they didn't have a lot of cars outside or they were all busy or I don't know. Could have taken like 10, 15 minutes until the car was there.
Hi, yummy, yummy.
God knows how she is, where she is back then.
Yeah, maybe she went back to the park.
Yummy.
I think she's either lost or she's high or she's sad or she doesn't talk. She wasn't even motioning.
No.
You love my video.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you.
can ask if you live in a quiet part of where you live.
Yes.
Yeah, it's on the outskirts of the town we live.
Yes.
So
And-
it's like 200-300 meters to the next field.
yeah, we live in a very quiet place and the neighborhood is very quiet and our street is like a private street, né?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, so you only people that have a reason to drive in there.
So there are more people walking past our house than driving in the car.
Yeah,
That's
but
definitely
it's
true.
the people that lives around there going toward the park to walk or so.
So
Like
it's nearly
that.
no traffic here.
Yes, we are in Germany. We are in Germany and we were
Oh, is my German accent so obvious?
no, we were spooked out today. I'm spooked out. So I will be extra on the lookout. I'm already on the lookout.
Yeah, I'm especially a little bit concerning since this happens super rarely in Germany. I mean, maybe not super rarely, but it never happened to us.
But what did she think she was gonna do with the two of us?
She was maybe wanting to make us a sandwich or something. I don't know.
Hi, can I cook for you?
Make some coffee.
Yes, I see those German
Maybe
flags.
she wanted to clean our house. Who knows?
Oh, that would be appreciated. That would have been appreciated. Kannst du Deutsch? Ja, ich
Also der
kann.
Mann, ich kann sehr gut Deutsch, behaupten manche.
Mein Mann, kannst du Deutsch?
Ich habe zwar einen Akzent, aber ich kann Deutsch, ja.
Er ist Deutsch.
Jawohl, Brot und Kartoffeln,
Brot und Kartoffeln und
Schnitzel
Schnitzel
und Bier
Bratwurst.
und Bratwurst.
Ja. So war cancelled. Unfortunately, wake-up call to keep your
Yeah, it's true.
yes.
So that's why I tell you. What did I tell you?
To take my pepper spray.
Right.
I do have a pepper spray. I never had a need to take it. I never felt nothing like this before.
It's always better to have it than not need it,
Yeah.
than to need it and not have it.
Because sometimes when you're walking,
I just
don't know.
I just need to fart. People will think.
Stop now. So I never had a need to take it or felt a need to take it. I always felt safe. Even I don't know.
And in general, you can feel safe. You're very safe.
But should I say this situation is threatening? But it's definitely something that makes me take my pepper spray. But yeah, I'll be more afraid of a man
And I mean, it definitely makes a big difference where you live. in Germany.
than a little woman.
If you live in a big city,
But this
it's all-
woman was not okay. That girl was not okay at all. You cannot pee in the park and be okay. Mm-mm. And that was the first sign when she was peeing in the park. And she was just squatting there weirdly, like, who even squat like that? Half standing. You not even squat. Like when you pee. No, it's not normal to pee openly in the park like that. Yeah. So she's not fine in her head, I think. Something is wrong with her somewhere. But she looked normal. very normal, dressed neatly, clean.
from afar, but when she came closer, you're like,
Yeah, no.
that's not normal.
There's a weird vibe that
Spooky.
came off of her like that. It's just,
Yummy muss schlafen.
yeah.
Ja. Ich kann das übersetzen, natürlich. She needs to sleep. Or he.
Ja,
He or
ich,
she.
ich,
Yummy,
ver-
Yummy needs to sleep.
ich verstehe das auch.
Gut.
Ja.
Schlaf gut.
Dankeschön, dass du hier warst. Bis nächstes Mal. Ich kann ein bisschen Deutsch.
Du kannst mehr als du denkst.
Mehr als ich denke. Ja. Ich verstehe mehr, aber spricht wenig. Also, tschüss. So, anyway,
Ich gehe jetzt auch.
ins Bett schon?
Nein, nicht ins Bett.
No. So, we are also done here. We just wanted to tell that little story.
Thanks for the hearts.
Thank you very much. Thank you for David, or to David who subscribed. He made my 500 subscribers. Thank you, David. Or I
Oh,
think
Ken says he lives in one of the safest cities in England, in Newcastle.
Newcastle, ahead of it. But
I
I still
think-
never take anything for granted. Yes.
I've been close to, no, I have not been close to Newcastle, but I worked with a lady coming from Newcastle, and boy, she was hard to understand.
Yeah.
Ooh, for a non-native speaker, that was pretty hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Newcastle is nice.
I have
the
heard
city.
of Newcastle, the city. So, anyway, I always feel safe here. Except when I meet people, maybe on holiday, like that side of the river, people drinking there.
Yeah,
That's
of-
when I feel a little bit when people
No.
are drinking.
I don't like that. In the middle of broad daylight, you go there to the grocery store and people
And,
sitting in front and drinking
And,
beer.
and they always sound so friendly and greet me. I do greet back, of course, but I'm like, yo, I'm not coming near you guys.
Yeah, I mean, you see, those are people who don't work. You know? They don't go to work. They have too much spare time and too much money for beer.
But no, some of them are in work clothes, so that means they just like to drink their
Yeah, but
stuff.
that's-
So, drinking people randomly standing somewhere, those ones spooks me out. But I don't meet a lot of them like that.
a little
So-
suspect.
It is kind of pretty safe in Germany, but never 100% safe anywhere. So, yes, I'm always on the lookout. I'm always on the lookout. Funny thing is, in Namibia, before I had a car, I used to go to work. I would be like having my backpack, and one of my American friends gave me a knife. Where's my knife, by the
I
way?
have no idea where your knife is.
One of my American friend, a man, gave me a knife.
But how far was it to work?
No, from that area near the gas station in 25, and it was,
A few kilometers, no?
I would say 1 point something kilometer. It wasn't too far. So I'll have my backpack very nicely attached here. I can even run with it. And on my other pocket, I have a knife, and then on the other pocket, I have pepper spray. With my finger on the trigger of the pepper spray, ready to spray. That's how I used to go. But then I also never met any situation that I felt like I was praying though that I'd rather never have a need to use my pepper spray. But yeah. And I never had to use it on anybody so far. So thank God.
I did not have any concerns in Namibia because I was just thinking I will. That story. Remember that story where I got some beer?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus. So okay, story time.
Yeah. One last story time.
We've been in a town pretty much close to the capital city. Capital city is Windhoek, and the town is Okahandja. So we've been there, and it was a public holiday because it was election day.
Hey, why are you on this, guys?
I don't know. It was election day. And election day in Namibia means everybody is off work, so then can go and vote.
And
which
if-
is super cool. I like that.
Yeah.
So in the end, all the shops are closed. And here's little Hendrik
Yeah.
being thirsty. I said, I want to have beer. Because Namibian beer, by the way, is pretty good. So, you were somewhere with a car. The car needed to be fixed.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ken said it's nice to meet my partner. Where did you learn English?
Where did I learn English? Well, before I continue with my story, I learned English in school, like for 7 years. It's normal school English, nothing special. But then I used to speak a lot of English in work because I'm in the industry and it was always an international environment. A lot with people from the UK, but
Oh, from the US?
mostly from the US, to be honest, and all over the world. So my English level was already pretty okay-ish. And then I met my wife and we always spoke English. So
Yeah.
I'm using it on a daily basis. And of course, most of the TV that we watch is completely in English.
Yeah.
So actually, I prefer doing everything in English during my day because then I'm not confused between two languages.
Is it confusing between two languages?
Yeah, because then I don't, when I'm talking in German, I don't remember the German names and only the English ones, and vice versa.
That is funny. I'm never confused between my language and English.
And I end up speaking Dinglish, half German, half English.
But the funny thing is now, I speak very little German, and sometimes I forget the English words and I only know the German words, which is very funny
That's a good
because
thing.
I don't know much German. Yeah.
But anyway, it was election day in Namibia. I was thirsty. You were not there. You were fixing the car somewhere.
Was I? Or was
Yeah.
I in the flat?
No, you were fixing the car and we wanted to meet then. So I went out and I said, I'm going to find beer.
Uh,
So going out, and of course, everything is closed. All the bars, all the pubs, everything is closed. And bars in Namibia are different than the bars or the pubs somewhere in Europe. Yeah? So in the end, I ended up going to.
Can say, I bet you curse in German. Yes, I do. It's even nicer to curse in German.
German can sound pretty harsh if you want to. That's true.
German is already sound harsh,
Also-
but the curses
also, I
sound
have to
harsh.
say-
harsh.
Cursing in English is way more innovative and funny.
Cursing in English is, hi, Hendrik is here.
Hey, Hendrik, brother.
And Bruder.
So
Yes, hi, Hendrik.
anyway, so I wanted to get that beer.
Yeah.
And there were people sitting in front of the pub.
Hendrik, you missed that story, yes.
Yeah, can't repeat everything. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. So there were people sitting in front of the pub drinking beer, and I said, if they can get beer, I can get
Because
beer.
usually on public holiday, they don't sell alcohol.
Yeah. So I went there and asked, "Oh, can I have a beer?" There was a security
Yes.
person in front of
A
the
brother
door.
from another mother.
A brother from another mother. That's me.
I thought we the only ones say that. Yeah.
So the security person said, "No, you can't get beer. The pub is closed." I said, "Well, they got beer.
Yeah.
Why can't I?" And then he was like winking at me. He said, "Come with me." Then he led me through this group of half-drunken men
Yeah. Took you to the back.
to the back of the pub, behind some houses. And I was like, "Okay, if he shoots me here, nobody will ever know."
How would I have found out?
No, you wouldn't have. So I went from the back into the pub. Nobody there except the person selling beer, a lady somewhere. And I said, "Oh, can I have two beer?" She handed me the biggest beer bottles I've ever seen. So in Namibia, you cannot even get beer bottles like in Germany. You cannot get half a liter or a third of a liter.
Yeah.
That was 3/4 of a liter, 0.75
Yeah,
liters.
750 milliliter beer.
Big bottles.
Two of them.
I was happy. I happily paid the price. I don't even know if it was
I
a
think it
fair
was
price.
20 Namibian dollar, which is like
Euro.
€1.
About €1 or maybe a pound or so.
Yes.
Anyway, I got my 2 bottles
Yeah.
and went a happy way. The person let me outside, the security person. I went to the
Newcastle.
front.
But try Newcastle Brown Ale.
I've heard about that. I've never tried it. Would love to.
Will they have it here?
No, you can't get it in Germany. Maybe somewhere in a specialized pub or so. But if I come to Newcastle, I promise you I'm going to have brown ale. Heard about that a lot. Must be pretty nice.
But anyway, you got your beer.
I got my beer, I went my merry way, stepped over the drunken people who wished me a very nice day, came home, said to my wife, hey, look, I got beer. And she was like, are you freaking nuts? What in the world did you think? Well, I didn't think clearly. So, but I had my beer. I was happy.
But the thing is, you didn't even text me that you're going to look for beer. But he didn't know that it was a public holiday. He thought, oh, the shops are just closed. A few meter, I don't know, 50 meter from
What do I know about public holidays in
50
Namibia?
meters from the place, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm just gonna walk to the shop, and it was closed. They took him in the back, and it could have been very dangerous because it could have been Botsotsos.
What's also people who don't have a D in the name,
Yeah.
just it's wrong.
When there's a Henrik
Yes.
or with a CK instead of just a K.
Do you know where the name comes from?
I think he know. He said it was an important name.
It's very important name. It's
Yeah.
our name.
Yeah, of course, of course.
It's the Dutch version of Heinrich, or in English Henry.
Yeah, I know that. But anyway, that was it could have turned dangerous situation, this your beer escapade.
Don't get between the German and his beer.
I'm telling you, the guy went to get his beer on public holiday. I think you broke a record. And I came home and there were two big beers. I think you were even struggling to finish them. I'm like,
They were big.
I don't want
I think we left our host where we stayed. We left
You
him a
left
bottle.
one
in a-
bottle, yes.
Yeah. We finished together one bottle and we left one bottle for our house.
Yeah, that was his adventure.
No beer today, by the way.
Could have
Whiskey,
been-
whiskey, Coke. Cheers.
Could have been dangerous. But anyhow, that was fun. That was fun. Let's see. It is Finnish name. Original from Heinrich. Let's see. Henrik is telling.
Finnish? No,
Which-
it's Dutch, isn't it?
Which means which means as much as emperor. I knew that.
Yeah, emperor or yeah, something like that.
I knew
exactly.
that. It's great to meet you both. It's nice to
Thank
meet
you,
you
Ken.
also, Ken. Really, it is. So yeah, that was our story. I think maybe we should do some story time.
You know, storytelling is always
Story
nice.
time together.
Also, I tend to exaggerate stories. a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit,
yeah, yeah. I know.
Or over dramatize,
Yes, I know.
which is fun.
I know. I know. So.
All right, guys. I gotta go on a business
Okay,
trip
sure.
tomorrow.
Sure. So, so anyway, guys, we have to go. We just wanted to tell these short little stories of our spooky situation.
Took us an hour now or so, no?
No, 48 minutes.
Yeah.
48 minutes. So, at first, when she was out there, I'm like, I should make a video. But I'm like, no, I shouldn't video other people. Then I thought, let me take a picture of it. Because she stood right just in front and I was watching it from my kitchen window. I'm like, yeah, no, maybe it's not good. She's in destitute situation. I shouldn't do that. But maybe I should have just gone on a live because she spooked me out. I should have spooked her out as well. But yeah, that's a story to tell. I hope I don't see her again. I hope I don't have to tackle her or have to fight her or anything like that. But if she meets me alone on the street while I'm walking, I can run because I'm a runner, so I'll just run. I don't think she will run.
People are saying good night.
Good night,
Hendrik Ruder,
everybody.
schlaf gut.
Yeah, good night, everybody. Thank
Ken,
you for being
all the
here.
best for you.
Thank you, Ken, for always being here and chatting us. We appreciate.
And to everybody else who's
And-
silent,
Yes, everybody
Love you.
else who's just quietly listening, thank you. Thank you for liking my video. Thank you for supporting. I really do appreciate, and I'll see you on the next live or on the next video.
cheers.